Greetings and happy Saturday to everyone. Just had a little adventure. I went to the Bellagio, I went to the Flamingo, and I went to Caesars Palace just to see what their openings were like. Leaving Caesars Palace right now and heading to go do a couple of missions. So I thought I'd give everyone a little report on what I saw, what the experience was, and how everything went. So, let's start with the Bellagio. The Bellagio and both Caesars and both the Flamingo, there was no heat, there was no temperature checks at the door. So, they're not doing temperature checks if you're just walking in. They're only doing temperature checks. Look at the amount of people out here. They're only doing temperature checks if you're actually checking into the hotel. If you're just walking in, you want to have a look around, going to do some gambling, going to do some gaming, there's no temperature checking in place as there was in the Wynn, the Venetian, and the Palazzo. So that was a little different, a little surprising, but that is their policy. Now, in terms of strictness, I would say that the Bellagio so far has taken the prize on the strictness of social distancing and everything else. Overall, I'd say the vibe in there was pretty good. I would say more than 50% were probably wearing masks. They do pass them out. They have an actual EMT type looking person. I'm sure they are EMTs, whatever. That work for the property. They was standing there with a mask in one hand and gloves in the other, and not insisting that people wore them, but you know, it looked official enough that people were grabbing them. So as far as all the mask wearers, if you're a mask wearer, you'll feel the most comfortable at the Bellagio for sure, because a high proportion of the people were indeed wearing masks over there. Like I said, no temperature check whatsoever. The Bellagio did have hand washing stations in place. I was able to take a little video in all three properties. I'm not sure how it came out because you got to kind of do it on the down low. You have to wait in line to see the lobby areas. You have to wait in line to see the conservatory at the Bellagio. The check-in, it didn't look like they were doing gangbusters. It looked like a lot of people were driving in, but I will tell you this. It's all self-parking now unless you know someone and they let you leave the car out front, but it took me, geez, somewhere in the neighborhood of 35 minutes or so to find a parking spot at the Bellagio. I'd say about the same, if not more, at Caesars. There was an ass in every seat in those parking lots. As far as the gaming goes, again, going back to Bellagio, definitely more strict. They physically have the machines turned off, every other one, whereas the other properties, what they're doing is they're removing the seats and leaving the actual machine running. There's one of the security guys showed me a technology that they're putting in place where when you sit down in front of a machine, it shuts the two next to you off, and when you get up from the machine, it alerts someone to come over and clean it, and then all three machines turn back on. So you do have a choice of which machines that are going to be played, that you can play. It just shuts off the ones on both sides of you and then alerts to clean. So I thought that was kind of interesting, but you know, a bit of a pain in the ass for staff there. The overall impression of what I saw today at the two higher end properties, the Bellagio and Caesars. Caesars is a little more relaxed, that's for sure. The Bellagio had, they had 3 people per table. As you know, we all know that was going to happen, but the craps tables do have partitions between them. The bathrooms do not, which I thought was kind of unusual, which they're separated at the Wynn. But the overall experience was nice. I would say the thrill kind of died off on Thursday morning when I went to the Wynn, the Venetian, and the Palazzo, there was just an energy in the air that was almost palatable, especially among the staff. I mean, they're what makes or breaks it. They were excited, they were happy to see everyone, they were greeting every guest. Not so much at the Bellagio, not so much at Caesars. It was kind of, if I was going to describe today, as you could tell here, that this traffic isn't 100% representative of what's going on because of the construction we're about to hit. But I would say if I was going to describe today, it would be a typical Tuesday in Las Vegas. I mean, other than people wearing masks, it's almost indiscernible that there's anything going on. The only thing I saw strict, but again, who's to enforce it? They were recommending that if you get in an elevator with someone who's not in your party, that you were supposed to grab a mask from their little mask dispenser and put it on in order to ride the elevator with people you didn't know. Whatever, it's all good. But that was the experience. So it's going gangbusters. Not sure where these people are coming from because it looks like mostly tourists, mostly drive-ins. The flights really aren't coming in quite yet. Check-ins weren't really, there wasn't a lot of lines, and it's definitely past check-in time. I've been on the Strip for quite a few hours, so I don't know whether they're filling the rooms up or not, or there's people like me just going. But I'll tell you what, people were gaming, they were gambling, they were drinking. You wouldn't know that Vegas skipped a beat, and that pleases me on a lot of levels. I was a little concerned whether people would want to come back, but you know, people want to game, they want to have fun. The conditions are definitely different. Wearing masks, you know, being told to step away from different areas. It's definitely a different vibe. It's a little heavier than normal, but I guess people will get used to it. International resorts and destinations have had masks taking place for years and years and years, and you know, we kind of snickered at them, but now here we are, we're going to be a mask wearing populace ourselves. I'm not too thrilled about that. We all know that masks really don't do anything. You know, that's been proven. I'm not sure why it's still being insisted upon, but to each their own. You know, if you want to wear a mask, wear a mask. If you want to wear a mask and you want to come visit the Strip, out of all the places I've been so far, I'd say hit up the Bellagio. You'll feel the most comfortable there because they are, I would say, the strictest, not in terms of, you know, the security or anything like that, but in terms of their recommendations. They're definitely being the strictest with the quote-unquote social distancing and the mask handing out and their policies in general. But again, you do not take a temperature check upon entering so far the MGM properties that I visited, nor the Caesars Entertainment properties that I visited. The Venetian, Palazzo, and the Wynn, you have to check, you have to get checked at the door. So that's what's going on, that's what's taking place. I figured I would just drop in, say hello to everyone, give everyone a look at the craziness on the Strip, and I'm about to bail off this because the traffic is going to get a little nuts. Matter of fact, I'm going to do it right here. I hope everyone is having a great day. I hope everyone is having a great weekend. And on that note, Bror, Fredrik out.